Hello, viewers out there. Welcome to Comfy with Comzy at the Comzy Media House. Don't forget or don't hesitate to link in our bio and subscribe. Follow us on YouTube at Comzy Media House. With me today, we have lovely people here, and with me on my left is Faith Jossy,
Hi guys.
who is a product designer,
Yeah.
and by my left here is Oluwa Pelumi.
Glad to be here.
Great. He's an MC and
A
also
voiceover artist.
voiceover artist, and he does quite a lot of things and all that. So we'll hear from them. Of course, we're going to formally hear from them, their names and what they do for a living. So let me start with you.
Okay. Hi, my name is Jossy and I work as a product designer. Yeah, and I also do some other things on the side. I work as a personal assistant, executive assistant, marketing manager, and all of that.
Awesome, great. All right, Oluwapelumi.
My name is Uluwa Pelumi, where I'm a master of ceremonies, a voiceover artist, thought leader, author, and a TV presenter. And I'm glad to be here.
Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. All right, my people out there. Now you know what our speakers today do for a living. All right, today we will be navigating relationship. We want to know uh, how relationship works, and of course, how to navigate relationships. So today, I would start with Olua Pelumi. What is your concept about relationship? Because basically, relationship is all about um, coming together of two or more people who bond together, who understands themselves as as the end result, and different people come together with different diverse ideas and things like that, but they come together to agree to understand themselves much more later and all that. So, what's the concept about relationship?
Well, a relationship is more about two persons whose value align coming together to be together. But more than value is that if you want to work in a company, for instance, part of the requirements that force you to get into a place and be a round peg and a round hole is your values. But beyond value is somebody you connect with heart to heart. So you're not going to a relationship to work. You're going there to meet somebody that you can connect to on many levels. And every time I think of relationship, I think about what makes a relationship beautiful. So there are five human needs, psychological human needs. There's the physiological need, that's where you have food, shelter, clothing. And that's a level where most people stop. So some people get into a relationship with somebody because they want their feeding catered for, have a roof over their head, and have clothes. And that's what most people go for. But there's a level below that. And that's a level of safety and security, where you are getting to a place where you know your heart is safe, somebody you can confide in and communicate to. And then from that level, you have love and belonging. Somebody that loves you truly, that you can trust enough to have your back every single time. And then you have self-esteem level, where you know that every time I meet this person, something happens to my self-esteem. So if you're in a relationship and then your self-esteem goes down, you are not in the right one. Because I should be with somebody who have forced me the opportunity of becoming more confident of myself. But pretty much at times when the person you are with may not be able to cater for your physiological needs. So the guy just finished serving from he served in Kogi State, taught in the private school or in public school, is out now, can't really, he's still trying to settle down very well. So he may not be able to settle or cater for your physiological needs, but is he able to afford safety and security? Because that's cheap to say, I can confide in you. I can when I need somebody to cry on, I can cry on you. I can call you middle of the night to say I'm weak and down now. Can you pick my call?
That's right.
Something else is, can you love me for who I am? So that won't cost you anything. You don't have to go to you don't have to learn that in primary school. It's something that comes with you as you go through life to say, I'm open to care. The next level after love and belonging is self-esteem. Somebody I can be with, and every time I'm with the person, I feel more confident of myself. I am who I am. So I talk a lot. And when I'm with this guy, he doesn't tell me I talk too much. He listens to me. You don't have to pay for that. So somebody may not be able to afford the physiological need at the moment, but is he catering for the safety part? Is he catering for the love and belonging part? Is he catering for the self-esteem part? And the next level is self-actualization. To say, the dreams I have, the goals I have, is it contributing to that? These four, self-actualization, self-esteem, love and belonging, safety and security will not cost you anything to do. It won't cost you money. But physiological need will cost you money because you need money to buy food, you need money to buy clothes, you need money to have a roof over your head. If you only meet a guy to solve your physiological need, you will not last in your marriage. So what the person you want to be with should be able to do is once he is able to cater for your safety, for love, gives you love as much as possible, self-esteem, and the last one, self-actualization, is only a matter of time before it begins to cater for your physiological need. So when you meet somebody that you connect to, what the person brings to the table, you will say, what do you bring to the table? What the person brings to the table, if he's able to bring the four, but he's not yet at the first level, then you should consider him worthy to be somebody you want to go out with and commit your life to. But if the only thing he does is he gives you money to buy food, gives you money to buy bullshit air, you are in trouble, my dear, because you have not found the person that will do life with you, even when things are hard. Because there will be hard times. And I guess we'll get to that as we go on.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Mr. Pelumi. Basically, he has, emphasized, on relationship in terms of, self-actualization, self-esteem, and, the physiology needs, of the person. So we would get there in full details, actually. And Josie, all right. So what's your concept about relationship, basically?
Okay, so basically, I would like to speak more on female relationships.
Awesome.
Because I think, I don't know if I should say recently or of late or currently, there's a lot of focus on romantic relationships that we tend to like forget about the importance and how you get to like benefit more from your female relationships than romantic relationships. I don't know, these days there's a lot of topic, a lot of arguments, a lot of speech about how, and whenever these topics are being brought up, women are usually like the center of discussion. Like women are the ones that are in the middle, like, oh, as a woman, what do you bring? What do you do? What are you doing to the guy? This, that. And we tend to forget that most times when you're in a relationship with a man, these men they tend to bring nothing.
To the table.
They bring nothing because men of this generation they are very lazy. Before you see a man that is very, very hardworking, you cannot compare men of this generation like Gen Zs, even some millennials, they are very, very lazy. When you are speaking about men that were born in the 70s, 90s, 80s, like those type of men, yeah, the way they provided, like they provided the way a man should provide. Even the basic or the major religions that we have, Christianity, Islam, and all that, they, I don't know, they kind of like harness deeply on how men are meant to provide. As a man, it is your duty to provide. So like I said when I said this, I don't want to like fully focus on just romantic relationships. I want to like speak more on female relationships. Because when you have like as a woman, when you have a female friend or friends, women who genuinely love you and care about you, it tends to like surpass any kind of benefit that you're going to get from a relationship with a man. Most men cannot do anything for you without sleeping with you. If you don't give a man something, you won't get anything. You can meet a woman and she will do everything and anything for you without expecting anything in return. So I don't know, I just kind of feel like as women or as yeah, I should say women, as women tend to like we should tend to like put more efforts into our relationship with our friends, our female friends, because there are thousands of benefits. I personally have been lucky to have like really good female friends, and I can say that the things my female friends have done for me, no man has ever done it for me. When it comes to companionship, when it comes to having like just having that person, someone that you can go to, you go to this person, clean, this is who I am. There is no judgment, there is nothing like, oh yes, okay, I did this for you so many years ago, I did this for you, what have you done for me? I've been doing that for you, what have you done for me? Like so many things like that. I just kind of feel like we as should I say straight women, we tend to like go through a whole lot of emotional and financial, should I call it abuse from men that women that they are in relationship with like a fellow woman, like lesbian, homosexual women and all that. Because when you look at the relationship between two women that are in a sexual relationship and a relationship that has a man and a woman, there's a whole lot of difference. And for you to actually get somebody that you're on the same wavelength with, like a man, you get a man that, okay, both of us will vibe on the same level. This is how we see things, or this is how things are done. Or maybe as a woman, you're a career woman, you have a career man by your side. It is different. But if you're in a relationship with a man whereby, as a woman, maybe the man is he has more things like more values than you, or you as a woman has more value than the man, most of these problems still come from the men. Because as a man, if you're any more than the woman, there's this superiority. If you're a woman, you're any more than the man doesn't have confidence. It feels like you're above him. There is this jealousy because when you're with some kind of men and you're doing better than that man, you're doing better than that man. There's this kind of jealousy that tends to like come like, oh, this man is doing this, she's closing deals, maybe she's doing the 9 to 5, she's a business owner, whatever it is she's doing. If she's doing better than that man, there is this kind of jealousy. And that was why I said, as women, if you invest more in genuine female relationship, there's no how you will carry your wings to your female friend and she'll be envious of you, like, oh, this man is doing better. Oh, I don't want this man to surpass me. Or when we go out there, what is society going to think? She drives a better car than me. She does this, she does that. So basically, what I'm just going to say is that be it romantic relationship, with a man, friendship, whatever it is that you have with somebody, I just kind of feel like what kind of relationship, even with family, any kind of relationship that you are in with anybody, there has to be like this same level of honesty, trust, agreements, and communication between everybody. So yeah.
Okay, awesome. Great. You see, different strokes for different folks. Actually, there's some men out there that you actually come in contact with, and they help you without sex. So basically, what do you have to say as regards this?
Well, so you have to first you attract the kind of person you are. And from my perspective, I realize I've seen that life has shown me enough to understand that I've seen women who meet guys that they have always longed to be with and they end up together. Sometimes they do really end up together. There's some men out there that show traits of not being faithful already. So if you have a guy who is dating somebody and is with you, you should expect that by the time you both agree to be on the same level together, he will also do the same to you. So what brings people together most times are their values. Are their values actually. It's been researched and it's all over the internet. What brings two persons together are values. So if I want to connect you on any level, you find out that introverts connect to introverts. You find when people go for when two introverts go for a party, what happens is usually while everybody's partying, they are cool. Everybody's dancing, they are seated, except introverts need you to initiate the conversation before they can. They have it in them to talk, but they will not talk to someone until you initiate that conversation.
Yeah, true that.
So usually you find two introverts sit together and then can I use your phone? Can I use your charger? And then they start from there. Maybe the outer introvert, one who goes out more than the other one. And then as they have conversation, temperament connected with temperament, and they come together to make this happen before you know, start telling themselves, reaching out as often as possible. So there's some men out there that request for sex. Like I can assure you, those are just they're just very, very few. There are over 200 million Nigerians alive today. In fact, there are over 8 billion people in the world today. And if you're going to judge a larger chunk of persons by just a few people, few bad eggs, you will not see the true meaning of life. Some people see it from the perspective of experiences. And I wrote on my status yesterday as the fact that sometimes regret is trying to transfer pain with the false hope that when you do, it will reduce what you feel. And so if you try to see relationship from the lens of your past, you will not embrace the present. I give you an instance. Somebody who has been through breakup, who was bought by a guy called Femi. And then the two guys she has dated, dear Femi, she now meets a new Femi that is also wonderful, innocent and pure, tender and kind. But because he bears Femi by name, she begins to react to Femi in the present based on what the Femis in the past have done. And now she now loses the Femi in the present because of what the other ones have done. So the idea is to understand that there will be people, we have people from different backgrounds who have been through different experiences. And when you meet the new, you have to understand that there will always be devils around. But it doesn't mean that there are no angels around. So I see this guy acting this way. I know that it's just a peculiar experience based on his ignorance. He is ignorant, he is wicked, but it's a peculiar experience. So I know that there are more persons out there that are good at it. So just to speak on what he has said about that. But again, what do you think about relationships? It's that you have to always look at it from the good side. not always on the bad side. Because if you focus on the bad, if I tell you don't think about red, don't think about red, don't think about red, what you will think about is red. So I need to put you in a place where what you see is what is good. If I put you there consistently, it's only a matter of time before your countenance or what you feel changes. So I said, see relationships from the other part. And what she spoke about, let me speak on what she spoke about that some men pleases are lazy, and most of them don't put stuff on the table. And the idea, I think that there's been a debate online recently as to what do you bring to the table. And there are many things you bring to the table, Chief. There are many things you bring to the table. Part of what you bring to the table could be kindness. You see, kindness is not a human default to be kind. We have to learn to be kind. By default, humans are designed to be wicked and cruel. That's why you can see a young baby will bite the finger of his mother. So by default, we are designed to be wicked. But when somebody has gone through life enough to become kind-hearted, kindness is something you can bring to the table. Somebody who is kind can be the one to open the motherless baby's home because she's kind. She cannot stand, she's poor. Mother Teresa didn't build too many houses, but stayed as poor as anything. But we see support from all over the world to help children all over the world. She's dead today, she didn't marry at all, but she's kind. She's remembered today for the kindness she did. So kindness is something you can bring to the table. What else do you bring to the table? You bring communication to the table. So I mean that I know you don't communicate, you are not designed to communicate so much. But every time I initiate the conversation, you're always there to contribute. So I will make sure that we have time to talk. What do you bring to the table? Creativity. In other words, that we have a routine that keeps us to bond together. I mean that you cannot do relationship in this time and age if you don't communicate. So if you don't have a routine, I'll give you an example and we may ask you the next question. So an example is this. We're dating people date. So I asked a lady for instance, says, I tell her, you are the sugar in my tea. Just give her the old lines, you are the cockroach in my combo. I don't know if that line still works today. You are whatever it is, you are the TikTok on my app, everything like that. And then she says yes to me. And then we say, from the day she says yes to me, I run out of ideas. I don't know what to do again. Because sometimes when friends become partners, they feel that there is a different task than what they used to do before. It's just that when you say yes, you have committed yourself to somebody. It's still the same thing friends do, actually. So you call more now, right? You take on yourself more. You've always been doing that. But now you are not dating, you think there's no other idea to say, there's no other thing to invent. Monday, we can say movie night, right? We talk about movies on Monday. Tuesday, we can talk about culture. Wednesday, we can talk about quotes, right? Thursday, we can talk about romantic lines. We can say romantic lines. Friday, we can do flashback Friday. We are having engagements every single day. You see, if you create a roster for relationships, to say Monday we are doing this, Tuesday we are doing this, if you do that consistently, there is nothing that can break both of you. So I said that I say to you that there are good men out there. We just may need to create the right system to keep things running. Yeah.
All right, that's a good one, basically. To the Femis, please. It's basically not talking about your own Femi peculiarly. Basically, yesterday has passed. Today is guaranteed, and tomorrow is luxury. So, if you have a relationship or you are engaged in a relationship and you possibly think about the past to deal with the present, please think twice. Forgive and let it roll. Let it go. All right. Back to you, Jossy. All right. In relationship, there are disputes, there are factional squabbles. There are things of the past. That relationship, can actually get better through. What is in it, basically? What do you think one can do to actually bridge the gap together? Like incommunicados, when you are with your partner, you don't talk to the partner, you're with your spouse, you have grievances, over the weeks, over the months and all that. You guys don't talk in the house. Again, what do you think can bring back the love and the bond together? Husband and wife, employer and employee, children and their parents and all that. How do you bridge that gap together?
Okay, so first off, what I want to say is I don't think it's normal for you to like have a fight with, I wouldn't say anybody, with your partner, and you allow it to go for days before speaking. It simply means there is no love there. That's what I'm going to say, because if you actually do genuinely love and care about somebody, you want to like settle all disputes. I personally, I isolate whenever I mean, I come in contact with like conflicts, there's any conflicts or whatsoever. But if I actually do care about you as much as I say I do, I don't think I would want to go for days without speaking. Okay, let's say relationship, fine, but as couples, no, that's it simply means to me, it simply means you guys are not meant to be together because I don't see what kind of issue or what kind of problem you guys are going to have that is going to linger from days to weeks, then months. No, it doesn't work that way. So what I'm just going to basically say to that is that's why I usually say like whenever I speak to like people and all that, I usually say before you get into anything with anybody, be it relationship, marriage, you guys supposed to have like you sit down and you talk, let us communicate, let me know, okay, what do you like, and not just like what are your likes, like my color is blue or my favorite, no, not that, about the actual things that are meant to be spoken about, like how do you handle conflicts, do you isolate, some people don't even know that they do it, there might be a problem and you just see that you're just shutting that thing down, not because you want to, just because you don't want to like go through that, should I say, the journey of having like, like having the conflict with that person. They don't want to like go through that journey. So you get like ask your partner, okay, how do you handle this? What are the things that really ticks you off? What gets you angry, the things that gets you like really really angry, so you get to understand like, okay, yeah, these are the things my partner wants, these are the things my partner do not want. So because I love and care about my partner, I'm not going to do those things that make my partner angry. I don't know if that's what I'm trying to say. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying what I'm trying to say is these things need to be communicated to avoid keeping malice in marriage, in relationship.
Yes.
And also, I want to speak on something
Okay.
he said
Say.
yeah, earlier. Yeah, so he said when people ask, what do you bring to the table? And he mentioned kindness, creativity, and I think he made mention of communication. Okay, so I don't know, but I feel when you say kindness, and he said we humans we're not born or created to be kind. I do not agree with that. People are meant to be kind. There are people who decide to be wicked. They are wicked or they are evil because they decide to. Not like they do not know good and they do not know bad. It's just like somebody that is stealing. This person knows that okay, if I steal, it's a sin and it's not morally right, but they do it. So that one is aside. When you say, oh, okay, because I want to get into a relationship, I have to bring kindness shouldn't be on the table because you should be coming into that relationship as a kind person, as a compassionate person. You should be coming into that relationship being able to communicate properly. And it's just like jobs, because you also made reference like the workplace. If you want to like work now, I don't think there's anything you want to do in this life that communication is not there. So I don't see how communication has to like come, it has to be a thing. These are the issues because when you start making mention of like bare minimum things like this, you see some people, they're in a relationship, everything is going fine, it's just communication, just like what I said earlier about isolating during conflict. You could see some partners now, no communication. Okay, you did something I did not like, you are not talking about it. Why are you not talking about it? Because you cannot communicate. I cannot know what's in your head if you do not say it. It's still communication. If you are not telling me how you feel about this thing, if you are not telling me, okay, somebody might be doing something, they are not aware that they are doing that thing. Maybe you like it, you do not like it, you have to mention it. Or something you did that day, or something you said that day, I do not like it. Or you said something that I really like that you said that to me. I don't really get people that get like compliment me or say nice things about me. So I do not agree with bringing kindness into a relationship or come as you are, come with those things. Those are things that are usually instilled in people, like growing up as a child, depending on the kind of home that you're coming from. If you are from a good home, bad home, I don't know wherever you are from. School, relationship, family, your church gathering, your mosques, wherever you are coming from. These are things that you should come with on your own, because when you say things like this, I don't know, it tends to like give people who have this communication issue or somebody that is not kind, just like kindness, for example. I have to know you to be kind. That's not how kindness works. It simply means you're not a kind person. If you have to know me, if you have to be romantically involved with me, if you have to like be my friend to be kind, that means you are not a kind person. You are faking it. You are just saying you are kind, but you are not kind. Yes.
Alright.
Over to you.
Alright, good. So I think that when the question is like, what do you do to usually what people mention are things that usually money can buy. And what the response that should be gotten are things that money cannot buy. I don't know, how many of you married?
What is?
10 years.
Yes.
Whoa, 10 years! But I'm always trying to. Yeah. The question now is: have you enjoyed your life?
Apparently.
When you met your wife, what did she bring? What do you think she brought to the table?
Oh well, I've been working with American International Insurance Company, for over 13 years now. I must say, with all emphasis, that it is my wife that actually gave me the job.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands above this line.
So what I am today, who I have become today, basically has been my wife, basically, because I mean, she believed in me, she encouraged me. Even the Comzy Media House we just opened, she actually encouraged me as well. So what she brought on the table basically is what money can't buy. Because aside sex, aside money, there are other things and all that. Self development, encouragement. Go for this course, go for I must emphasize, even when the Comzy Media House, when the Corporate Affairs Commission, wanted to give us a certificate, they asked for some media related. Do you have certificates in this? Do you have that certificate? So as they were asking, I was giving it to them because why? I saw afar, right from time. So I was able to get myself developed and all that due to her encouragement and all that. And I was able to actually fulfill.
You agree that she has brought peace to the table?
Apparently, that's number one.
She has brought confidence to the table. She has brought belief in you.
Exactly.
So you mentioned that she inspires you, she gives you self-confidence, she encourages you. So encouragement is only got when there's substance. So it means that if somebody wants to do something but is not spurred to do it, there's somebody who says, go and do it. I'm behind it. If it fails, I'm here. Those are things money cannot buy. And so when you're talking about what you bring to the table, it has to be things that money. I want to let you tell me, see, honey, because you look well fed, you look peaceful. I saw her when we got in here, the way she, welcome, she came to take my hand, gave me meat pie and all right. Now, those are things those are things money cannot buy. So when we talk, what do you bring to the table? I want you to tell me, see, I bet it if you look behind, even if you fail, and help you behind.
That's right.
I bring peace to the table. Those are things money cannot buy, but they will ensure that you live longer than your peers. So, when a child is born, sometimes you find kids lie, and you wonder who taught you how to lie. No kid learns how to lie. They just come with that default. In fact, even Abel killed, Cain killed Abel without being taught. He was the first murderer in the Bible, in the world actually. Who taught him how to kill? Where did he learn how to kill from? But so most of us learned how to be kind by the instructions of our parents. Go and give mommy Chike this particular thing. This is what you do. Don't do this again.
And
Say thank you.
And the biblical principle that said, love your neighbor as yourself. So even the biblically, no, Bible knows that there are some people that doesn't love their neighbor. So there are some people that are not kind.
They're not kind at all. So, but over time, because of how we grew, a man who a lady who was lived by her father or my stepfather, that lady will be you see, she's hard to convince, to love, to impress. She's difficult to impress. That lady has to go, if she now becomes, because it is easier to build the boys than to mend the men. When somebody is going to the level, there's a particular age you get to where it will take a lot of rehabilitation for what you have experienced to be washed and for you to now take a posture of a new person. So we have to learn that these little things, this act of calling, this act of saying, of ensuring that, of learning the act of peace, because peace is an act, just like we learn conflict. Peace, learning the act of peace. See, it is, I will choose to be at peace than to be right. Some people will argue to the core. So peace is something you bring to the table. These are invisible, but they are real. Just because you cannot touch it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Because these are the things that will ensure that your marriage works. I give you this example, and this is to say we heard of a popular comedian whose marriage broke recently, over 10 years in marriage, and having kids and still deciding to leave his wife. Both of them, I saw in the news today, the wife said she didn't intend for this to end this way, but it has ended. They have everything that money can buy. But the things that money cannot buy, they are the real things that you bring to the table. Peace of mind, ideas. Some ladies don't have ideas. But what they can do for you is they will stand behind you and ensure that the idea you are brought to the table. They don't have idea, but they are encouragers. So I will encourage you to do what you have said. I will ensure that I will be the logistics person of your dream. And that's something you need. Every man needs, but again, not every man just needs it. Every woman needs a guy who gives her peace. So to balance it, a lady needs a guy who gives her peace. A lady, so you have Comzy well. Do you think she will go as far as she is, as far as she has gone now, if there is no peace in her home? You have money Bukawishika. Doing so well, we hear less of her husband, more of her. You have money Funke Adetiwo. We hear more of the wife than the husband in many cases. So she will not, in fact, there was a time she wanted to invite her husband on the stage. She went on her knees because this is the man that has allowed me enough the peace of mind to sit down in my room and prepare a message and speak to a group of persons anywhere and gain my money. If he doesn't allow me that, I won't get to where I am today. So every woman needs peace. Every man needs peace. Every woman needs a man who can communicate. Every man needs the same. Every man needs, and when the Bible, this is the last one, when the Bible was counseling, because the Bible is a manual that has been for many years, was counseling men and women. He said, husbands, what you have to do, because I know it may be hard for you sometimes to love your wife. It's something you have to learn to do. But women naturally love. They open themselves enough to be loved. And it's easier to date a lady who is tender-hearted, who has not had breakups. When you meet a lady who has had many breakups, you'll be in trouble because they can trust you. It will take a while. But a lady who is tender-hearted, pure, nobody has ever broken her heart. She's clear. You most likely will enjoy that. I'm telling you, it's researched. Also, a lady who stayed alone before she married and a lady who stayed in her father's house before she married, the lady who stayed in her father's house most times before she got married will be more submissive to a degree because she has always been reliant on some dependence before she got married. But a lady who stayed alone, her room enough, everything she has there. If you go to the guy's room, he doesn't have the same. He's just building up life. Except she has gone through a system of education that tells her that you have to be able to sometimes put your strength under subjection. That's submission. Submission is I have strength, but I will ensure that I put my strength under subjection, so that by the time we're discussing, I know I'm an alpha woman, but I will not try to stamp my idea every time on you. And the other part, which is the last thing I want to say on this matter, is that say wives, what you want to do, I know you love, but what you want to do is to respect. Because if when you say submit, some everybody say, oh, we submit, respect your husband. Because guys, we don't just want the woman to submit to us, we want the woman who can respect. And when you respect us enough, you will be shocked how that the tap of our love gets opened up. Naturally, when a lady is loved, she respects actually. When a guy is respected, he loves. So these two have to find expression if you want to go further. And again, a point about communication. I think that one of the most powerful things to do is that when you are going through what, you need to learn how to communicate it. That's right. And when it stays longer than it should stay, because the 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 evidence of somebody going through depression is silence. In fact, there is nobody who wants promiscuous. I want to kill myself, but the person is not ready to die. Actually, you will tell everybody to go out and then drink poison and then go to be with the Lord. If that's your way, if that's where you're going to. So the point is, suicide. The strength of depression is in silence. If I don't say it, I will not. It means I'm not going ready to die. So, but when you are able to express what you are going through, the tendency of your depression level going down is high. So when there's an issue, some people, let me ask this question, which is the last. So I'll become the interviewer now on this matter. How do you settle issues?
Okay. Settling issues with spouses, basically, we have, like I used to say, different strokes for different folks. The way you settle disputes is actually different from the way another person would. Like for me, it's all about communication, where I'm going to call my wife or my wife calls me and things like that. Sometimes, as men, you would want to, like, I'm the man in the house, I won't speak with her or something like that. But I mean, when you pray together, you understand, the level of communication opens. You pray together, there's no day that I would want to go to the office without kneeling down. My wife prays for me, she will also kneel down, I pray for her. You understand? So if you can do that like every day and all that, I mean, aside creating God in between, you're also communicating one way or the other. So when you pray together and at night you're praying together, when you get home, you greet yourselves, you talk, you understand. So disputes will actually be resolved and things like that. So basically, I know with what she said, that when there are misunderstandings, factional squabbles between husband and wife, you have to settle it before the day breaks. You understand? So that there can be peace in the house. Sometimes you just want to create peace so that there will be peace. Otherwise, your food at night probably may not be as big as you want it to be. So that's basically it.
I have a question for you. Are you in a relationship? Are you married in a relationship?
So that's a very powerful question to ask on air. I'm not married, and I'm not in a relationship yet. This
Okay.
time.
Okay.
Are you
So
seriously searching?
okay, when you say you are not in a relationship yet,
Yes, yes.
does that mean, I don't know, from when you say yes, it simply means maybe you are currently like a talking stage with someone, she has not agreed, or you are still searching, you've not found the person, or I don't know.
Okay, so that's a difficult question to answer, but at the moment, I would say that there are persons on ground because for me as a person, there are considerations before I tend to ask a woman out to say, I want you to be mine. We need to agree on many things. Um, if I would say, I want somebody, I'm naturally very kind. So I am naturally kind. I have also learned how to express my kindness. So if I want to stay with somebody for a long time, then I would expect that one of my non-negotiables is that you are kind. If you are not kind, if you are not peaceful, then I will not do so well. And it's not a 20-year thing, sir. It's more than 50 years. So for me, it's that there are persons on the ground, but we have to agree on many things. And also, for me as a person, it doesn't matter what you have been through to an extent, it's that willingness is very powerful. So I know that you may not come fully formed, but are you willing to heal up quickly? Are you willing to be better? If your answer is no, then we can't be together. So they are up there, we have to agree on many grounds. And my take, priority, kindness is number one, peace is second, willingness is third. If you meet these three criteria and it's being beautiful, it's something. Right? Your wife is fine, it's something. So these are things that she has to tick. But beauty is not like the rest of it. But these three things, you have to be kind, you have to be peaceful, you have to be somebody who is what else? I forgot what I mentioned the last one. Yeah, willingness to grow. So if you don't meet this criteria, it may be difficult. And I look at these things from the outside. I will not, if I get in with you and that's when you start acting kind, then you're not kind. So I will sit far away and watch you do relate with people, with kids, with adults, with elders, and then see how you do, so that I know that this is who you are. I am kind. I know it personally. People say it to me. I see how I do it every single time. And then if you meet me, you already know this guy is kind. It's just immediately you know he wants to help out. He wants to see how he can help people fix things up. You understand what I'm saying? So that's my answer to your question.
Okay, so what I want to ask is,
Mhm.
I don't know how long you've been single or wherever,
Okay.
but how do you see yourself, like the way you are now? Do you see yourself like, okay, when you eventually meet the woman you described, do you think she's going to like accept you? And you also made mention of something about should I use the word monitoring the person from afar? Like you would watch how the person relates. I don't know how, but in my own brain, is it that you're going to like, okay, this person, and let's say this is where this person works, or this is where this person stays. You are like always around that person, but like far away from that person, watching how that person relates. How long do you do it? Do you watch that person relate with different kids like 5 times or just once? Do you watch that person relate with like a stranger? Like,
Okay.
what's the, I don't know,
How,
what's
how
like,
do I? Okay.
yeah.
So how do I monitor this time? For me, first, I'm a child of God. So one of the prayers I pray every single time is God bring show me somebody's character in the future and present. So I can already, and there's just a way God does it already. He tries to pick from the future into the present. And so I see what the person might do to me in the future and the present. I want a kind life. And it's not that it's in the conversation, actually. You can't do without 247. I work, I MC events. I'm a voiceover artist. I work as a TV presenter in the media house. So I'm not there. I get to work sometimes 7, 8 a.m. in the morning, by to 9 or past 9 or past 10 because of my work. And so it's in the conversation we have. It's in the little things. Little things. Like it could be to say, according to how are you doing, how was your presentation today? So for instance, the guy wants to go into the studio and he has told his girlfriend, he has told a friend of his, maybe I tell a friend of mine 10 minutes before time, or maybe 1 hour before time, or told that when we spoke in the night, I'm recording tomorrow. I told that I'm recording by 10 a.m. in the morning. And then I see that 10 minutes to the time without even asking her for it. That if he doesn't, being kind is sometimes without even doing it, nobody actually cares.
Yes.
But that act alone, she then sends me a text. Have a wonderful time today on set. Sir, that thing can lighten my mood. Incredible. It's not something that I don't need to teach you to do that. It's just if you didn't do it, no problem, we're not dating. But that you took the time to do it. That you even thought of, let me inspire him a little. Let me encourage him a little. That act is one act I would say this is so kind of you. We call it being thoughtful. But when you say somebody is thoughtful over time, the person becomes kind. So you say that's being thoughtful. That was thoughtful of you. Thoughtful is another way of saying somebody was kind. If somebody doing it consistently, the person is kind. So I don't move around with camera, with everywhere and say, let me what else is doing. What happens is something that's circumstantial without being spontaneous. You are being helpful by spontaneity. That I don't need to ask you to do this. Just like you go for comedy shows. You go to comedy shows and then there's a comedian there who comes on set. And then from what is happening, is able to pick from the happenings and then make people laugh. That's being spontaneous. It's not being rehearsed. So for me, if I see a lady as we talk, as we gist, as we talk on the phone, nothing attached. I could even take her out for instance and we talk. And as we have conversations and we talk and we begin to dig into things, people say things sometimes about themselves that they don't know themselves. And we take note of these things and act. We do it. That guy was very hard. So he goes to the restaurant, we go to the restaurant with the guy, and then he really talks to the waiter there. Because people, now let me just give you this last one. So what happens usually is that pressure brings out the content of any material. All right? So pressure is the thing. And you don't know a person until the person is under pressure. I'm telling you the truth. It means that if I take a bottle of malt, for instance, the only way I can be sure malt is there is when I use a stone to hit it and then it breaks and then liquid pours out. Or if there's a bottle of petrol or if there's a bottle, I'm looking at the bottle like this. It's not very transparent. I know there's a liquid there. The only way I can know if petrol there or kerosene is when I use it on the ground or whatever I do to it. So pressure brings out the content of any material. Now this is it. If you go to a restaurant to eat together, and then while we are eating, for instance, the waiter comes, and then the way he speaks to the waiter, okay, the way she speaks to the waiter, the way she acts with that person there, she's trying to maybe act as decent and as maybe cool as possible with me, but the way she's dealing with other persons, that has to, because my mom is somebody else. My sister will come that way. You cannot act kind to me and act in a very wicked manner to somebody else. So those are considerations that have to come in place if you actually want to ensure that by the time if you want to reduce your breakup rates. So you have to reduce your breakup rates with these parameters. But love, sometimes some people say I will love you and I will love you forever. But yes, guys, there are things that have to put in place here.
All right, thank you so much for this. Let's deviate a bit from this.
Okay.
Now, it's not all the relationship that ends in marriage, right? So there are some people who cohabit even till now. You go to schools, go to places, you see them cohabiting. What do you see as regards this? Do you think it's a good thing to do? I've seen many cases where people don't eventually get married together. Do you understand? But in this time and age, what do you think can actually be? Should there be a deviate from that, or is Is it a good thing to do?
Biblically is not the best. It's not even acceptable biblically to stay with somebody you're not married. Cohabiting means two persons who have not done the needful being together. And what are the needful? See both parents, pay what you have to pay your dues. And even these days, when a guy goes, I was telling an event one time, and I learned I used it as a joke at the event. So the previous day, the father, the family of the bride of the groom took money and gave to the family of the bride. The requested was 50K or so. And then the father of the bride collected 2,000 naira, took 1,000 naira from the money, put it in his pocket, and called his daughter and gave the daughter the remaining 41,000 naira and said, keep this money, use this money to open an account for my unborn children. That was what he did. He said, I'm not selling my child. So the needful is introducing yourself, both families talk together, go to the court to do what is needful. So, but there's the danger of cohabiting, and it's that whatever you have not, there's something that happens when you don't have something in its fullness yet. There's something called diminishing marital utility. It means that for every time you consume something, there's a tendency that you get tired of that thing. And so when you stay with somebody you are not married to, first, you may not know the weight of what you have. People want something they can chase. It's amazing how that the way life works is it's amazing. It's amazing how that we chase what is not. We love to chase what is not chasing us. So when a guy is chasing a lady, they say don't chase, pursue. I don't know. They say don't chase a lady, pursue a lady. Chasing is that you are if you call a lady every single day, morning, afternoon, night. What will happen is that she gets the tendency that you want that you feel that way to get connected to her. But what you are doing is she will soon get tired of you. Actually, the way to get her to reach out to you more is that every time you call with purpose. So purpose is pursuing and pursuing with the purpose. I don't call you how was your night? Every single time, and the script looks the same. If you follow a routine consistently with a lady, you lose her. She'll get tired of it. She will now that's natural for ladies. They will then turn their attention to somebody who is creatively communicating. That he communicates creatively. He's not chasing. He's pursuing. So you want to be with a lady every time. Are you available? Say let's go to the market together. You are there every single time. She'll soon get tired of you. Pursue her creatively, strategically. Every time you call, you are calling with a purpose. And you are leading every conversation with an assignment. I'm going to call you by 4 just to check on what you have done today, right? Good morning, how was your night? Yeah, I'm able to hear your voice this morning. What are your plans for today? And says, people, okay, so that one, when are you going to go there? Says, okay, I'm going to call you tonight just to check on the things you've done. And every time you talk in the night, you're talking. You are taking from what I said in the morning. So how did your outing today go? How did the interview go? You are calling with purpose, but keeping the romantic stuff. That's how it works to eventually end up with somebody you love most times. So if you're going to stay with somebody that you are not thinking, both of you have not sealed the deal, because it's dangerous for the lady than the guy. If they is tired of you, there's nothing binding you both together. He can say pack your things and go tomorrow. So even for the lady, the way to protect yourself in what you are is to ensure that he has done the needful. When he's now there, you are legitimately easy. And then the day maybe he becomes rich and then he wants to be with the Lord, it is a Christian. You know that the properties, and because you lived well together, the properties and your name, you are certain. You are not like you are sure that this guy is mine and this woman is mine. So the ladies have to be more, because it's easy for the ladies, guys to come to my house now. There's no need to take from your house and bring me here.
That's right.
But if he has done the needful, you will be priceless. Actually, you will be priceless. Your children will be his bona fide. You can be certain that this guy belongs to me and we are connected together. The Lord knows us. And if one traveler, for instance, will say, are you married? And then they say, bring your document. You know this, bring your document together. When did you get married? And all. Yeah. So it's not the best possible thing to stay with somebody you're not married to, because what happens usually when two persons are not married together, I can tell you this for a fact, you cannot stay together with a man you are not married and they will be sex. It's only a matter of time. You can avoid yourselves for 1-2 months, but because you stay together, and you have to also create boundaries, because a way to also ensure that your relationship lasts long is to create boundaries. That I'm with you now, and we're in the room together. You really came to greet me, and then because I'm human, whether I'm a Christian or a Muslim, I'm human. My body doesn't understand English. Now, and then we are together, and then I'm in that time of the month because every guy and lady have times in the month where the body desires to make connection. And so, if a lady is in that period, she wants to get the touch. If the guy is in that period, every time a lady is next to him, his body is on a different level. Like if I'm at that point where I begin to feel that, and I say that, because if you don't tell a lady you are feeling it, you do it move like. So I say, see, I'm at that zone. I'm there now. Because if you deny that you are feeling it, you will do it. So what a wise guy should do is tell a lady that I'm feeling this thing. And the lady says, I think you need to go now. Because after now I can't trust myself. And the lady says, okay, cool. Because you also know that they are looking forward to something. And because humans naturally, last point, humans naturally we look towards goals. So if you part together and there is no end goal, they will break up. So when you meet a lady, for instance, what you want to do is that because that end goal keeps you excited. A guy is running and he knows that there's a finish line. That's what keeps him running. Imagine you are running and there's no finish line. You get tired soon because you don't know how close you are to the finish line. So two persons living together, there's a lot about it, but it's worse on the lady side. The repercussion is more on the lady side than the guy side.
Woo! Awesome. Do you have anything to say on that, basically?
Yeah, I do. Well, biblically, because I'm a Christian, and it is actually you don't stay with a man that is not married with you. But then again, I would say it is still advisable to like spend time with somebody you want to like end up with, because most times I'm going to use Christian marriages for example, because you see some Christian marriages, they'll tell you when you want to get married to somebody, God is going to show you in the dream who you are going to get married to. Let's say you are going to a church now and you've been praying to God that, oh God, I want a wife or I want a husband. And maybe somebody just appears in your dream by coincidence and you feel that person is your partner. They go ahead, you tell your pastor, I'm interested in this person. The pastor calls both of you, okay, and they just go ahead into marriage. I do not recommend that, because that, no, it doesn't work, because I just feel like they say you don't know somebody until you spend time with that person. You know, some people have routines, they have morning routines, just like they say that, oh, this person is a morning person, it's not a morning person. You know, somebody can just wake up in the morning. I don't feel like talking to anybody. And you did not know all these things because you guys did not spend time together. You don't know the person's hygiene. Maybe whenever you just go to the person's house to visit, the house is always clean because you are just coming to visit. You are spending like how many hours? 5 hours. The house will definitely be clean. You don't know how the woman is, let's say like when she's on her period, like her monthly, whatever, you don't know what her hygiene is like. You don't know if, you know, there are some people that when they're on their monthly period, you cannot stay close to them because they are not hygienic with it. Let's say you guys did not spend time together. There's no how you are going to find out about these things. So you have to like I suggest and I recommend that partners have to like spend time together. You don't have to like stay with that person. You don't have to live with that person. It could just be like a couple of days, weeks. Then as the woman you go back to your house, because you have to respect yourself, self-respect. You go back, and just like what he said, as men, because men love to chase. If you don't give a man, because if you give a man something freely, there's no value for it. Men appreciate something more when they chase that thing. Yeah, and what he said about when you call somebody and there's end products. No, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Because why would you call somebody in the morning? Okay, fine. Oh, what's your day saying? These are the things I'm going to be doing. Then at night, you're not asking the person, oh, how did you go? Did you execute that properly? Did you do? I don't know, because let's say the person works or you run a business, you faced all of that corporate thing outside, like you've done all of that outside. So if I'm coming home to have a conversation with you on the phone, I don't think I want to be hearing how did you perform. It could just be like, how was your day? And if the lady wants to like explain in depth, I'm sure she's going to do that. You know, you might just want to come home to just talk. Doesn't necessarily mean that you want to like give details of, okay, this was how we went, this was the gross total of whatever, this is the company's. No, you don't have to have end product in mind to have a conversation, because sometimes it can be tiring. I don't know. That's why I asked, like, okay, what kind of person are you? What kind of women are you interested in? And that's why I said earlier about values and sharing the same similar things with people. You know, I kind of feel like relationships are easier when you share similarities with that person. And it doesn't necessarily mean that because I'm an introvert, you have to be an introvert. No, you could be an extrovert, an introvert. You know, when you are with like opposite of yourself, sometimes it kind of there's this spice it brings into the relationship, the marriage. You know, there are some people that some men are very quiet, some women are quiet. The other partner is the loud, wild one. But imagine you are with your fellow. To me personally, my own belief is I'm not quiet. So I don't think I want to be with somebody that is not quiet. I want to be with somebody that is quiet. Do you get? So that days where there are sometimes where you don't want noise. You need somebody that will call you back, like calm down. This noise is too much. That when you're like with your own person and you're always it works for some people, but personally, I'm talking about myself now. Personally, I don't think I want to be like somebody that is similar to me. So I just feel like values should be evaluated before anything.
All right. Thank you so much. Today has been an interesting day.
So are you wrapping up?
Yes, please.
So
Do you have anything to say about
please.
that? Okay.
Okay, so this is my last point here.
You don't want to be.
So I think that one of the in studying the science of relationship, something I have found out is that it's called the power of details. Um, where I ask a question, the only way I am able to pull out from what you are doing to you, the only way I'm able to pull out from what you have said and build more conversation is to hear you say more. And so it's called the power of details, where I say, how was your day? Eventually fine. And there's nothing for me to be able to.
No.
Okay.
No, you're misunderstanding me.
Okay.
I'm not saying when you call somebody, you speak with that person in the morning and you're waiting for end product. I don't know, I've forgotten how you.
Okay, end product.
No, it doesn't mean like, oh, you call and I made mention of like list of things I'll be getting, like I'll be doing for that day. Then when you call, like, oh, how did these things go? I'll be like, oh, fine, they went well. What I'm saying is, it doesn't mean even when, because they say something that when a woman likes somebody or a man, we talk.
Yes.
I might like you and I do not like this. But when this person, oh, how was your day? Fine. How are you? Fine. What did you do today? I went to work. And when somebody that you like asks you these things, you tend to like give details. But what I'm trying to say is, it doesn't have to be like, should I say a motive? These things they come naturally. I don't know. What do they call it? I don't know. I'm a kind of person that I like to like, should I say go with the flow? I don't like when things are like arranged. Yeah, like there's a certain no, I don't want things to be like that. Let things take its natural flow. So that's why I say I don't want you to call me and tell me, okay, at the end of today, I want it sounds like you're my parents, you're like my superior at work. Yeah, no, this is a romantic relationship.
I get that.
Okay, yes.
I get
And
that.
when you're in a romantic relationship, you guys are practically one. You take away age difference. You remove age, regardless of if the woman is older than the man or if the man, you take away age. You guys are one. So I just feel like I should be able to like come to you and speak to you freely without any form of, oh yes, by so time tonight, by 4, I have to call this person to explain how far my day has gone.
Okay. Just to give you a balance to what I've said. This is an outcome, right? Okay, so when I said end product, I mean that every time people talk, it's that you want to have a good time. Okay, you want to talk about what happened that day. You want to share your pain, actually. So we talk. Humans naturally talk with something in mind. I can call you now, for instance, and come through. And then I know when I should ask you more of what has happened today. Naturally, we stop when they meet me. Even an introvert, a lady who is chronic introvert, when she meets a guy that she likes, she talks more with him than others. It's proven. So I am not saying that it has to be rigid. I'm not saying that it has to follow a particular program outline to say, like, get this thing. I'm not saying that every time you call, you want to call with the sense of, I want to connect. So the purpose, I really I just started to say, what I meant by end product, what I meant by purpose is that you call me to say, I want to have a good time with you. That's my meaning of that. I want to have a good time with you. What else did you say that I had in mind to communicate? Yeah, about similarities and differences. The only way that you can have sparks is to have variety. Okay, so I want to be with somebody who is not exact. I can't marry somebody who is like I can't marry somebody like that. I can can marry somebody who has a bit of myself, my human, but I can't marry somebody who is exactly like me in terms of thinking, in terms of thought. Some guys are movers. Some ladies are encouragers. I need that. I make moves. I need somebody who inspires, who can also contribute to my moves, no problem, or we can move together, no problem. But I will not entirely look for somebody who is exactly me, who will not won't have spice. Things will be hard because you don't expect to laugh every time because you've married a comedian. So I need to find somebody who can I know my flaws. I know areas where I'm very weak to say, I mean, come back. Come back home. So I used to be somebody who is very individual. I used to be somebody who before now. If I talk to a lady over the phone, I because I speak well, I speak like a commentator. So I'm calling you and I'm speaking as though like I do a bit of commentating to an extent. So I speak to you as though I'm speaking in a stadium. And you would wonder how I'll be using some words that I use at events to talk to a woman. You know, and I've realized it was a while back, I realized that it was creating a bit of obstacles to how the media was with them would connect to me. And so she had to tell me, Pelumi, you are not on stage. So every time I'm at that level where I'm thinking as though I'm commentating, she tells me, Pelumi, you're not on stage. You're talking to me.
Mm.
And then oh, sorry. And then I bring it back, I call myself because what I do daily is commentating. I speak, so it's part of me, but I need somebody to call my attention. I have to learn to consciously know when I'm beginning to move to that zone where I am talking more than talk and just chill and let the other person talk and listen more. So that I just thought to give a bit of balance to that. Amazing conversation we had today. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay, all right. I think we have to actually close it here. But before then, let's balance it up. Let's go to parents, parenting. Let's talk about teens. These days our parents possibly lose guards and things like that on our kids. And you see teens of nowadays, doing some things that are not meant to. So do you believe in sex education to our kids? So that they can be aware instead of hearing from outside, they should hear it from the parents. What do you think as
Well,
regards that?
okay, so to start talk on that, I think that to have a good relationship with anybody, with a guy, you need to also feel love from home. It's easier when a child feels love from the parent, father or mother. So it's easier for you to be able to get it with the guy and then you'll be fine. But when that relationship does not exist, then you need to begin to outsource learning from outside. And you'll be sure if you leave that child to learn from outside, you can't be exactly sure what the end result will be like. So I am saying that if I have a wife for instance, and we have a child, the things I know, things I've seen people do. I have people that I look up to, I have uncles who have beautiful relationships. I know when they were dating their girlfriend, when they got married, I know the obstacles they faced, I know how they got. I have an uncle, amazing guy, I love him. So I have all my uncles, I love him. But this one, I know when he met his girlfriend, I know how they transition. I spoke with the incredible woman, and they're married today with 2 kids, beautiful family. So I know what I asked him questions. How did you meet your wife? What did you tell her? How did you toast her? He gave me some lines, and I'll be using the lines to fall in pleasant places. Right? But the point is, if you have a child, you have to ensure that the relationship with your child is solidified, that you discuss topics without feeling that the child does not know about it. Because whether you like it or not, that child will know about it. And so it's best when you are the one who introduces that to the person. Humans are curious. When we see a thing, in fact, the best way to get the person to think about something is to say it without actually saying it. So if I tell you about something and I don't go deep in depth about it, you will want to know more about it. So if I call your consciousness, the human mind is so powerful that when I call your consciousness to something without giving you details that will satisfy your curiosity will ensure that everything you see, you will place it side by side with what you are thinking. So I hear about violence. Every time I see something happen, I relate it to violence in a way. I become suspicious. If you don't tell your child movies to educate your child, and you are not exactly sure what education that child will get by seeing the movie. So I will now by myself create a curriculum that I can communicate with my child. I'm saying that every child that is born with an empty slate. And you know that in science or in psychology already, that every child is born with a plain slate, and that what is written on it. Sometimes some of our parents wrote things on our board with permanent marker. And so those things will never change. For instance, Greek elders. If I see an elder today, there's a way I bow. It doesn't matter how tall I am, I bow. That learning was written in permanent marker. But there's some learning that I had to, as I grew older, I had to erase because it's not relevant in this century. So I have to understand that sometimes I see my father now, as much as I want to bow, my father is also in modern in the way, you see, he hugs me. So we hug ourselves very tightly, Papa, my father, and then we're good. I see my mother, I embrace my mother as well. And all of that. So there had to be a curriculum where every evening sometimes, and as a man, you have to learn how to, gone are the days where you have to be physically present at work. Sometimes hybrid works now at this, where you can work from home. Create time to speak with your daughter. Teach her things about kindness, about sex. Teach them these things as a curriculum. And you will watch how your child will be gifted. Give the child assignment. You will watch how that child will become closer to you, because usually when kids don't feel that they can ask their parents questions, they will ask questions, but you are not exactly sure who they will ask that question from. That's right. And that person will give them a perspective based on his own experience. Because we speak to people on three things, and this is my last point. We relate to people based on our values, beliefs, and experiences. And so every time you see a person, the person will relate to you based on really four things. Based on values, experiences, relationships, and I can't remember them, and maybe ideas or beliefs. And so these four things are what everybody possesses, because we all have had different experiences, and I've made sure that the way we see people is different. So I am not exactly sure who will teach my child. That's why a woman will go to school and then say, I want to see the teacher of this child. Before I can enroll, let me see who will teach the child first.
Exactly, that's right.
I used to run the physical tutorial center before I moved it online. And when I used to run it, I had my office there in Iberileki. And so we had different jam bites, the class was full, parents would come, and every time a parent wants to, maybe a woman wants to enroll that child in the lesson, most times I'm there. I go to work in the morning, I have somebody who is there that I pay to be there for me, stay there for me when I'm absent. And the teachers also come, get paid and teach. So I get there, and then when I'm there in the evening, the woman will come and say, I want to see the owner of this person. And then when I come out, good afternoon, ma'am. Yeah, how you doing, ma'am? Fine. My daughter wants to enroll, wants to sit for exam this year. And the way I will talk, the way I speak, I talk, tell her this is what you have to do, these are the courses that the teachers take, this and that, this and that. Most times, if I'm the one that tends to parent, the child will come to the person. Because the way I will communicate it, the way I will tell about it, I know they look at me as this guy is responsible. He won't do rubbish. Maybe the girl, they know the girl as the showing attributes of being promiscuous. They want to ensure that the child comes to a lesson where the owner is holy and clean. I have to put effort also. So I look very, very calm and wonderful. And then we have conversation, and then the woman feels, let me put my child here today because I think I trust this person. So we have to ensure that just so that we don't allow the child our kids go out and then get taught by teachers that are wrong and have not been taught themselves. We have to teach them, create a curriculum that ensures that they are taught from home.
Right, great. Let's hear from you lastly, so we can actually close this up.
Okay, so I feel it's very important to teach your children sex education, and I advise they start early because kids are really inquisitive. So whether you say it or not, you mention it or not, even if they don't hear it from school or from anybody, they have private organs on their own and they find out. And coupled with the current age that we are in, a lot of information is out there.
Google it.
Yeah, they can do anything. So compared to like days where it was just newspapers and personal relationship like friends, classmates, and all of that. So yes, I encourage and recommend sex education for.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. That'll be the end of today's podcast, basically. A lot of viewers would want to know you personally. Do you have an Instagram handle?
Oh yes, I do. My Instagram handle is Jossy Jo underscore triple SY. Yeah, that's my Instagram.
Okay, and you?
Oluwa Pelumi, the compare. Oluwa Pelumi, the compare.
Great, awesome. Okay, so this will be the end of today's podcast, and we hope to see you some other time. But don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow us on Instagram, Comzy Media House, and also on YouTube, Comzy Media House. Thank you, and do have a great day. Cheers.
Yeah.